everybody, welcome back to another vlog. It's currently Wednesday. I have woken up this morning thinking it's Thursday and I'm sort of struggling to get out of the mindset that it's Thursday when it is in fact Wednesday. And as you probably would have seen from the little intro, we've had a bit of snow this morning, which has now suddenly turned into a lot of rain. So I thought I was going to get a really nice like snowy dog walk to start this vlog. Biggs is currently licking the back of my coat because I'm sopping wet after doing the school run. Hence why I am already dressed to go out. But yeah, I thought I was going to get a really nice sort of snowy dog walk montage, but that's not going to happen because, as always, the English weather is not playing ball. So I thought I'd start now after having a little bit of footage of some of the big fluffy flakes that we had coming down before I did the school run. So yeah, I am not really doing very much over the next couple of days. I thought I would just vlog like Wednesday to Friday and just kind of show you what I get up to. I did very recently, like on Monday, finish my Stay Extra Toasty scarf. So I'll show you a little bit more of that a little bit later, but it is definitely coming in handy today. And I was going to bother doing my face and getting some makeup on and everything, but to be honest, because the weather is so grim, I think I might just leave that for when I get back or not bother at all. So yeah, the hat I'm wearing today is the Vivian beanie. Is it the Vivian beanie? I think it's called the Vivian beanie by Sari Nordland. I knit mine up in Knitting for Olive, Merino and Soft Silk Mohair in the colour Red Currant. And then obviously this is my Stay Extra Toasty scarf by Kutova Kika in Biche and Bouche Le Petit Lamb's Wool in the colour White and Chroma Nima Lace Weight Cashmere in Indigo Spot. And then I have paired it with my ever so trusty Barbour High Clear with the hood, which is so useful because I have never had a hood that has been as waterproof as this one. So yeah, loving my Barbour at the moment. And it's a little bit longer than the traditional Barbour. It's, oh, that's very dark, isn't it? Perhaps I should put you over here where there's a little bit more light. There we go. So yeah, it kind of comes down to like just below my bum. So yeah, I'm kind of half procrastinating the idea of going outside and walking the dog, but you need to go, don't you, buddy? You want to go for a walk? You want to go? Okay. I am not going to take my camera out. I'm going to take my phone. So I apologise if any footage is not as high quality as it usually is. But I don't really want to run the risk of getting water in it and then it not being all that usable for the rest of the day because it's quite wet outside. But yeah. That was the most wet, cold, muddy dog walk. Actually ended up being 2 dog walks because now that I have this wonderful finger injury, I can't hold both the dog leads because I usually hold one in each hand and I don't have enough strength in one hand to hold both the dogs. And they have an annoying habit of like when I have to pick up their doo-doo, for lack of a better word, they kind of like try to wander off when they're both together. They don't do it when they're on their own, but they do it when they're both together. They won't sit and stay, which is kind of annoying and something I'm working on with them. But yeah, so if I ever have to do that, then I just don't have enough, like I can't do it with my broken hand and I can't do it with my other hand because they're trying to pull my wrist in all separate directions. So yeah, I've not been able to take them both at the same time. So I'm taking them separately, which takes a lot more time, and it was really hard to motivate myself to go out for that second walk, but it's done now. Ruffles has decided to go up to bed because honestly, I don't blame him, because he's cold and wants to just snuggle up there. The heating has just kicked on, so apologies if you can hear the boiler. But I'm very much looking forward to a cozy day of knitting because this weather is just not the one. The snow is completely gone, and now we're just at the point of really, really cold rain. And because we had a couple of days of some nice sunshine, but then before that we had a lot of rain, and before that we had, like, it would rain just enough every single day to make the ground really, really sodden. So everything is very, very wet and slippery and muddy and kind of waterlogged at the moment. So yeah, it's just not, it's not that like quintessential sort of winter weather that everybody loves, you know, when it's like cold and frosty, the ground's really hard, so like you're not going to get covered in mud, and like there's patches of snow everywhere and everything's glistening and the sun is out, but it's bitterly cold, so you can wrap up in all your knitwear and drink hot drinks and all that. It's not that. We're at the point of just like it's wet and cold and dreary, and being outside is not all that fun. But oh well. I've towelled off both the dogs and we'll just get on with the day. I need to run upstairs and get a new battery because I've just realised this one is nearly dead. But then, yeah, should we go through some of my knitting stuff? Oh gosh, I didn't mean to fall back quite so much there. Right, so this is my current project. So after I finished my, what was it? I literally just said it. Stay Extra Toasty scarf. Not sure why that keeps falling out of my head, but yeah. Well, after I finished that, I was like, oh, what can I cast on next? And I was going to start a pair of gloves for my husband. And then I was sort of like, I'm not really in the mood for a small project. I want to see if I can knit colorwork because I'm also halfway through his Christmas socks, the You Silly Goose socks. So I've knit one and I need to knit the other one. And I know that socks are not something that I can knit very easily at the moment, just because of the way you have to hold your fingers, like the splint and everything is a little bit cumbersome. So I thought, why don't I try colorwork on a larger scale where I've got a little bit more room there between like the sort of bit of the needle that I'm working on with the actual needle tips and the cord, because I knit my colorwork socks on 9-inch circulars because I find magic loop very, very difficult for my tension and everything. So I decided to try casting on my Peatland sweater by, is it Cheryl Mokhtari? I think that might be her name. She goes by Coco Amore Knitwear on Instagram. And so this is my progress so far. Oh, come on, there we go. So I've done the first chart and the second chart, and I'm about to start the third. And I am using River Knits Chimera, which I think is in the colour Rainforest. So it's this beautiful like marled, like mock hand spun yarn. It's very much a similar vibe to, what is that stuff called? Spin Cycle, dyed in the wool. So I am using that as like my main colour for the yoke. And then my contrast colour is Tangled Yarns Steadfast DK in the colour Rosehip. And this is just the most beautiful, like sort of bluish toned reddish pink. It's just absolutely lovely. I really, really like this. I would love a whole jumper in this, but I just don't know if it's like 100% my colour. I wonder if like these kind of pinks are a little bit more my kind of pink, but we shall see. So yeah, I have altered this slightly because obviously it wouldn't be me knitting something unless I alter it ever so slightly. And I didn't start with the ribbing for the neckband. I just cast on and went straight into the yoke because I think what I'm going to do is pick up stitches and then knit my neckband as a folded neckband instead of just a single neckband, excuse me, in the pattern. I just think that that's something that I just don't really like single neckbands that much. And I always find that with a round yoke, they really do stretch out over time. And if I pick up the stitches and knit the neckband on like that, then it's more likely to kind of keep its shape and not drag too far down so that the yoke is finishing like at my elbows, which is something that I find quite irritating. So yeah, I'm going to just do that. And this neck hole is so wide, I don't think it's really going to be too much of a problem. I also want quite a nice like deep neck like this on there. I really love a deep ribbed neckband. So yeah, that is my plan for the neckband. Until then though, I am just going to work on the yoke. I've got one chart left to do. I've just done the last increase round. This just knits up so fast. I literally cast this on Monday and I'm not a particularly fast colourwork knitter at the moment. But yeah, I just think it's absolutely stunning. And after I have done the first bit of the chart, you change your like contrast colour for the background onto your main colour. So my main colour is this Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino in the colour Pea Shoots. So it will go from having the mild green into the Pea Shoots, and then that'll be what it is for the rest of the jumper. So I'm looking forward to getting to that point. So then I'll have like just some easy breezy stockinette, and I'm hoping to have this done before Christmas so that I can wear it as my Christmas jumper. I do think I've massively overbought on yarn. I don't know if I'm gonna have, so I have 2 skeins of the Chimera, so I'm not sure if I'm going to need to tap into the second one. If I don't, then I think I might be able to knit like a sort of almost matching version of this for my daughter. I have just realised that I am probably going to need to do the neckband in it though. Although what I could do is, if I'm doing a folded neckband, is I could do the Chimera on one side and then use some of the rose hip on the other side. Yeah, I might do that. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be working on. I am in the middle of rewatching Broadchurch on Netflix. It's been like, I don't know how many years, a very long time since I first watched this. And it's almost like watching it new for the first time because I've kind of like forgotten everything. So that's quite nice. Oh, that's too hot. So it's been a while. Oh, hello. Come to join. It's been a little while. I have had some lunch and I've just been knitting away on my Peatlands sweater. And I have just done the first motif of chart 3. So that looks a bit like that. And I've got a couple of rounds of just plain stockinette now. I do think, so this is what I've got left of my River Knits Chimera. I'm pretty sure now I am going to have to crack into the second skein for the yoke and not just use it for the neckband, because I have about 6 rounds of this left before I then change into the knitting for Olive. But I kind of didn't really take into account how long these rounds are. I have quite a lot of stitches. So I'm knitting up size 1, which should give me a fair bit of ease. I think it gives me like 15 centimeters or so of ease, which is quite a lot. But I like a good oversized round yoke. Gives you a good amount of space under the underarm. There is a thing in here, 19 to 21, and size 1 ends up as the evening. But yeah, I'm going to work on this for a little while, and then I'm going to go and pick up the little one from school. I have a really nice chilled day today, and I'm so grateful for it because yesterday was so busy. And tomorrow is quite busy because I have to go for a hospital appointment, and then my daughter's got her swimming lesson in the evening. Yeah, size 2 is going to give me way too much ease, especially with a round yoke, like with the extra like yoke depth and everything. My goodness, so many emails. It's like the weekend before, like the Black Friday weekend. So every single email I get is like Black Friday sale on now. I'm like, I don't really feel like I need anything though. So yeah, I'm just going to carry on knitting on this. I've got a couple of rounds of just plain stockinette though, which is quite nice. So yeah, I'm just going to carry on working on this for a little bit and see how much I can get done before I have to run off and do the school run. I did have a yarn delivery yesterday, but I might talk to you about that tomorrow because I've made some big decisions on some of my projects going forward. Oh gosh, elegant as ever. Hello everybody, it's Thursday. It's already the afternoon. I spent the entire morning at the hospital having my finger looked at. Positive though, because I now have a new splint that is like completely molded to my finger, and I can like take it off to like shower, wash my hair, that kind of thing now. And yeah, it's just much more comfortable, because before it was kind of like bent and it was very kind of annoying because I naturally wanted to be able to like straighten my finger, and I also like found it hard to bend it like this, but I can now do that. I had a wonderful hand therapist have a look at everything, check out the break that I had underneath and everything, and all fine. And yeah, chose some new colours for my splints, and now I have purple splint and pink straps, which I'm sure my little one will absolutely adore. But yeah, very happy with it now because it's so much more comfortable. And next week I have to start doing some like movement therapy on it to make sure it doesn't seize up. But yeah, let me show you the progress on my Peatlands sweater, because this is, I feel like breaking my finger has made me a monogamous knitter, and it's really made me appreciate actually how much work I can get done on things if I actually focus on them and don't just flip between different projects. Like my Stay Extra Toasty scarf took me like 14 days to knit the whole thing, and it's quite long. I'll show you it when I leave to go and do the school run this evening, this afternoon. You know what I mean? So yeah, I worked on this a little bit last night. I did show you where I got to just before I was about to leave to the school run. But I have now joined in the main colour and I am almost at the end of the colour work. And I absolutely love this. I think it even looks relatively true to colour on camera, which is quite nice. So yeah, I think it's working out really, really well. But yeah, very much enjoying this project. I didn't realise until the other day that I actually used to have a jumper that was very similar to the Peatlands. It had the same colourwork motif in the yoke, but it was black with white and pink colourwork at the top. And I think that's why I've been so drawn to this, because I don't remember where I put that jumper when I moved house. I think I might have gotten rid of it because it was like a really old acrylic shop bought jumper. But I did absolutely love it. I think it started to fall apart actually, because this was quite a long time ago now. And I used to wear it to absolute death. So yeah, I guess that's why this design really called out to me. And that one had a thick, chunky folded collar, and I think that's why I'm so desperate to put a folded collar on this. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I think I might finish the yoke and then do that, because I'm going to be doing the collar in this sort of the River Knits Chimera yarn, and the rest of the jumper will be in the Knitting for Olive, so it won't mean that I'll have to like cut the yarn and then rejoin it. I'll just be able to knit the collar, and then it will give me a bit more of an accurate representation of how low the yoke is. So yeah, let's get cozy and get some work done on my Petlands. So I have just finished the colour work and I love it. So here is what we look like. And I thought I'd give it a little bit of a try on, since I haven't tried this on yet. And this is probably going to be the easiest it's going to be to try on. I also need to measure the yoke to make sure that I'm hitting the right length that the pattern suggests. So I also need to find a tape measure to do that, because my tape measure is one of these like round ones, and the end came off it, and now like the actual tape measure is stuck in here, which is very annoying. So I'm gonna have to replace that at some point. But let's try this on and see what it's looking like on, because I'm very, very excited. Okay, so this is, oh, hang on, if I, ouch. Oh, I keep like accidentally leaning on the hand that has my broken finger. Okay, so this is what we look like. And I think I've got one more stockinette round, and then I have one more increase. And then I think I'm ready to split for sleeves. So I think this is going to be a good length, because it will then like pull down once I put the sleeves on as well. So this is a good length for me. And I think it's so fun. I really, really like it. I think the marl of the River Knits Chimera is really, really nice. It's not like too in your face, but I'm glad I held it with a like solid to kind of mellow it out a bit. But yeah, very happy with how it's looking. And I'm really excited to get into the stockinette, but I think what I'm going to do is do the last knit round and the increase, and then I'm going to do the short rows, and then it says to then split for the body and the sleeves. So before I split for the body and the sleeves, I'm going to put the neckband on and see what it looks like then. Friday, and it is the most beautiful day. I'm not gonna lie, I have just filmed this entire segment and then realised my microphone wasn't turned on, so that's kind of annoying, but here we are. We shall just carry on now. So yeah, to catch you up, I obviously last night finished the short rows on my Peatland sweater, and I have picked up the stitches and started knitting the neckband, which you can't really see because this yarn is so busy. But yeah, I've done a couple of rounds of ribbing, and I love how deep the short rows are and the fact that they are actually included. I mean, they're optional, but short rows are a must for me. So yeah, I love how deep they are because I'm really going to pull that back neck up to allow it to fit really nicely around the neck. But yeah, I am so close to being done with like the full top half of this jumper, and I'm really, really excited. It's knit up so fast. I think it's absolutely stunning, and I am just loving the pattern. So yeah, that is my progress on that. Funny how much you can get done when you don't knit anything else, you just knit one project. But the main reason I wanted to come in here and talk to you is because my husband is downstairs working from home, and I have been talking about the fact that I ordered some yarn for the past couple of days and not showing you what I ordered. So yeah, I'm going to show you now. So basically the whole thing is to do with my Great Gingham raglan, which is behind me here. So this is the Great Gingham raglan by Jessie Maed Designs that I've been knitting. And as you can see, I've almost finished it. I've spoken about this a lot on my podcast if you're unfamiliar with it. But yeah, it's an all over colorwork raglan with this like gingham style motif. And I tried it on in my last podcast, and I'm not sure how well it came across, but honestly, I was a little bit unsure on the fit, and I was sort of thinking maybe if I block it, it might help. And I've ummed and ahed over it for over a week now. And I think I was umming and ahhing over it before as well, because it was looking like the fit wasn't going to be exactly what I wanted before I tried it on. But I'm kind of disappointed in how it's fitting me, and I don't think the blocking is going to fix it. Now, somebody did say what I could do is just not do ribbing and do an I-cord, because my fit issues are all with the neckline. It's sitting really, really high up. I can pull it down, but I don't think it's going to relax enough even with blocking because of the way that the raglan is shaped. It's really narrow at the top. And I've had a look at some other people's Ravelry projects, and most of them, the neckline is sitting really, really high up. And even the short rows that I added don't seem to have fixed that. It's still sitting so high up. So I think it's kind of been a bit of a blessing in disguise that the fact that I broke my finger and then couldn't work on this for a long time, because it's allowed me to like really take a step back and kind of make some decisions about things, like about the project, without feeling that urge to just get it finished because it's so close to being done. And realistically, it fitting the way that it fits now, I'm not going to wear it. I have a couple of funnel necks. I like them. They're not my most worn jumpers. I realistically am not going to wear it that often if it has a funnel neck and all of that colour work on it. The two funnel necks that I have, one of them does have some colour work, but it's very, very minimal, and the other one is just plain. And they are fine. I absolutely love them. They are great jumpers, but this, I'm just not going to wear it with a funnel neck. It feels very, very tight. It feels very, very high. And yeah, I don't think that I would wear it with an I-cord either, because I don't know. I just don't think it would fit what I was expecting. I really wanted it to be very similar to my older sweater, and it's just not. And actually, I think the yarn would be better used in something that I am going to wear a lot more of. And so I went back and I had a look at my Ravelry favourites, and I came across the Stripe Overload Polo and the Stripe Overload Cardigan. And I have been eyeing them up for a while, been like, oh yeah, I really want to knit those. And actually, I think the thing that I love the most about the Great Gingham pullover that I have been knitting is the colour combination. I really, really love the combination of this like cherry red and this sort of like very blue pink. And so I had a look and I was sort of like, you know what? I think I might just frog the Great Gingham, which is really disappointing because obviously I've been working on it since March and it's been a real like labour of love. And there's a lot of work that's gone into it. But really, what is the point in doing all that work and like pushing through and finishing it if I'm not going to wear it? So I went and I had a look at the Stripe Overload Polo, and I'm not going to be able to get a gauge with the yarn that I've got for the Great Gingham on its own. So I ordered some Fibre Space Cumulus, which is the same yarn as I used for my Pioneer mitts that I finished recently. It's a suri and silk blend. It's absolutely beautiful. And I don't find that it like makes my skin itch anywhere near as much as mohair does. And I wonder if it's maybe like the quality of the mohair or like the content of the mohair that bothers me, because I have my Vivian beanie by Sari Nordland that I knit up in the Knitting for Olive merino and mohair combined, and that does not make me itch at all. But also maybe that's because I only wear it when it's really cold. So yeah, I'm not sure. Either way, I didn't want to run the risk of having a really itchy jumper and using mohair, so I decided to use the Cumulus because it's a suri and I've been wearing my mittens quite a lot and haven't had any problems with them, even like on my wrists or anything, even with my like very sensitive skin where my finger was broken. So I kind of took that as a real positive. So I ordered this pink, which is called Sherbet. Oh dear. Did not realise I had a blocking pin there. And I think it's a really, really good match for the Apple Blossom, which is the colour of the Yarbo 2TR Ul that I have. So yeah, that was a really great match. And then also I ordered the Ruby Red, which I think is a bit, where did that skein go? It was here a minute ago. I think it's a bit darker, but still quite a good match for the cherry pie. And so yeah, I'm going to hold these together and I'm just going to knit myself a Stripe Overload Polo or cardigan. I'm not sure. I can't really decide if I want to knit the cardigan or the pullover or just like the straight polo. Maybe if I put pictures of both of them up here, maybe we could have a vote. I don't know. Let me know, which one should I do? Should I do the cardigan or should I do the polo? Because I think I would wear both of them exactly the same. And the fact that the cardigan is essentially just the polo cut in half, I think that like would sort of allow me to still be able to wear it in the same way as the polo. Either way. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do with my Great Gingham. I'm not going to frog it right now because I'm still working on my Peatlands, but yeah, I'm going to let it just sit for a while before I do that. But I thought I'd explain why I'm probably not going to be working on that fairly soon, because, yeah. And actually, I think it's a really good thing to be able to take a step back and just realise when a project just isn't working out and changing it into something that you are going to wear at the end. So yeah, that's what I ordered. I also got some drops snow, and I think we can all tell where this is going. So I think everybody has seen the, what are they called? Sailor slippers, making the rounds on Instagram and YouTube and basically everywhere. And of course, I decided I needed to make myself a pair. I absolutely love slippers. And I really, really loved my, what are they called? Sunday socks by Petland. I knit them up in Peruvian Holland wool. They've lasted me a really, really long time. I wore them an absolute ton, but unfortunately I have gone through the bottom of one of them. So I kind of needed a better solution for just wearing around the house. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to make myself a pair of sailor slippers. And so these are the colours that I grabbed for my pair. So I'm going to use this pink for the I-cord, and then these two greens are going to be my stripes, and then I've got the dark grey for the bottom. So I'm going to have to knit up I'm going to have to knit up a swatch for these fairly soon. And then, yeah, I'll be knitting those maybe next week, because I really feel like I need some slippers. Although I'm wondering if they are felted, are they going to be really slippery on my like hardwood floors downstairs? So is there a way to make them not slippery? Like if you use like hot glue and do like some little dots, you know, like they do on those like socks that they do for kids, the like slipper socks. I wonder if that's an option. Perhaps I'll try it out on a swatch, actually. That would be a good idea. So yeah, that is what I ordered from Wool Warehouse, to kind of supplement my yarn stash. But yeah, I'm glad I've got it off my chest about the Great Gingham now, because it's kind of been something I've been like mulling over for the past week or so. But yeah, I thought I would also have a conversation about Vlogmas, because obviously I did Vlogmas last year. I vlogged every day for 23 days. I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot. It was a lot. I, looking back, was so burnt out. I was so tired. And yeah, I spent the entire like 2 weeks that I had off after that just kind of trying to recover and like sort of become a human being again, because I just felt very, very run down. Which I know sounds utterly ridiculous, because all you're doing is filming your life every day, but it's the editing, it's having to like edit it together and everything, and then get it up by a certain time and all things like that, and doing everything else that you already do on top of it. So yeah, I am going to be taking a bit of a step back from that this year. I'm going to maybe do every other day, maybe like do 2 or 3 days and then put them together, but it's not going to be every day. It's going to be a much more stripped back Vlogmas. I might even do like weekly vlogs. I'm just not decided yet. I'm essentially going to start filming for it next week and then just kind of see how it goes, because yeah, I want to be able to spend a bit more time like with my family. I don't know. I just feel like I want to take a bit more of a step back from it this year, but still be somewhat involved. So yeah, I think that's everything I have to waffle on about now. I am going to head downstairs and make myself a cup of tea. It's really chilly in here. This room has so many windows, and I think it's like the coldest room in the house because it's kind of like in the corner of the house. So it's got nothing else really surrounding it apart from the stairs. So yeah, I'm gonna head downstairs and get some more work done on my Peatlands sweater, and yeah, definitely make a cup of tea to sort of warm myself up. Why is this stuck? Oh my gosh. And throw everything on the floor in the process. So yeah, let's go and make some more progress on this. And then I think I might just wrap it up for this, because I'm pretty sure I have waffled on for like at least 45 minutes and you all must be thoroughly sick of hearing my voice by now.